there's been a lot of buzz that we are getting a TARDIS reveal soon. We had the BBC on their official Instagram post about it. And said, yeah, you always remember the first time you go into to a TARDIS, right? What's that one page? Yeah, you always remember you first, so that kind of indicates they might be looking at a reveal soon. And then I think catching that side gist, we also have this article which we're going to go over. Share screen. Doink. Over here. Every TARDIS interior ranked from worst to best. So let's say Mark Donaldson. He is very confusing. Sometimes he is completely wrong about everything. Sometimes he's quite on the money. So let's see where he is today. Doctor Who has changed a lot over the years, but that includes the TARDIS. Well, you know, they it's been going on for 60 years. They probably would have needed a new set sooner or later. While the core image of the public police call box that's bigger on the inside out has remained a constant, but both the exterior and the interior had countless tweaks. Well, we know, but the interior much more so, right? Completely rebuilt. Though there are subtle changes to the color on the time rotor or the layout of the buttons of the console, well, not really. The look of the TARDIS interior is main constant. Well, you know, you want to keep some kind of idea of this silhouette of it, otherwise it's not it anymore. I mean, that's kind of where Jodie Whittaker's era went wrong. They kept the kind of silhouette of Doctor Who, but made everything else not Doctor Who, right? And so the silhouette didn't really work either, right? The 1970s era saw a raft of notable changes to the inside of the TARDIS, prompting Patrick Troughton's oft-repeated criticism of his successors. Oh, you redesigned, don't like it. Well, again, that was just good writing, I think. It was only with the modern series that TARDIS got a considerable redesign. Well, no, shut up. The Five Doctors, where the Fifth Doctor's like proudly looking at his console, that was pretty cool. And Sylvester McCoy was going to have a great one in season 27. Right, because they had to rebuild it because the walls had all warped. So that's why in Battlefield the lights were turned down low. It was just like plywood with holes cut in them because they didn't have the TARDIS walls anymore. So they had to rebuild the set. So anyway, they're ranking them. So at number 14, there's been 14 TARDISes. The 13th Doctor TARDIS. Yes, the absolute shittest TARDIS. Everything about this was wrong, much like the era that it came from. Yes, everything about this was utter garbage. Jodie Whittaker's prevailed Doctor Who was a bit like everybody's favorite mad space aunt. No one's got a favorite mad space aunt. Okay? Nobody liked her, right? She was bad, right? Which was the perfect tone for the show's first female Doctor. No, it wasn't. Again, and she just couldn't act. She never convinced me that she believes she was playing the role, right? That she believes in the character. She treated her like a Teletubby. Like, you know, again, she says so many things that are wrong and stupid. And I'm not even all like the revolution of the Dalek. Like, just look how she used a sonic screwdriver. Like, and like, it was dumb. Where are we up to? The only problem was this mad space art also had a New Age crystal shop for a TARDIS console room. That's the only problem. What about the socially awkward line? By the way, one of the things they said on Dan's stream, these podcasters, which was a great stream, I really recommend it, was when they said, yes, all the Doctors have been socially awkward. Fuck off, they have. No, they haven't. William Hartnell, it wasn't socially awkward at all, right? Patrick Troughton, no. John Pertwee, no. John Pertwee, the absolute opposite of it. It was like dashing. Tom Baker, no. Peter Davison, no. Colin Baker, no. Sylvester McCoy, no. Paul McGann, no. What's his name? Christopher Eccleston. Well, in that he had post-traumatic stress disorder. David Tennant, no. Not in the least. Matt Smith, no. A little bit with Peter Capaldi. Just a little bit. But, like, no. Just which Doctor was socially awkward? I'm a bit socially awkward, right? From the giant Himalayans salt lamp time rotor to the custard cream dispenser. The custard cream dispenser could have been a good idea if she wasn't shit. It all felt a bit too try hard. That is true. It was also the absolute worst console room to choose for an era with the show the biggest TARDIS crew in the modern era. No, excuse me. They had the same amount of people with David Tennant and with Matt Smith. So I don't know what you're talking about. It might have been hard for fans and writers to find a satisfying plots for each four of the members. Again, Rory, Amy, the Doctor, right? And they had somebody else's, and then they had Mickey, Rose, Captain Jack. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was just Whittaker couldn't act, and Chibnall couldn't write. Perfect team. Find members of the TARDIS team during Whittaker, but it was even harder to frame them in a shot that looked on the insanely crowded TARDIS set. From the nothing was thought through. From the instructive central column to the dangling wires to the rigid spires, it was often very hard to see what was going on during the badly lit, the busy TARDIS scenes. That being said, it looked cool when dressed in blue for the Nicholas. No, it didn't. Leave it alone. And that was the Turgis bloody episode as well. Third Doctor, Planet of the Daleks edition. So this was the one they got new walls in, right? This was the replacement for the washing up bowls. So the third Doctor's console in a shed in season 7 doesn't really count. Okay, I agree with you. However, for an incarnation that was stranded on Earth, the third Doctor had several variations of TARDIS interior during his tenure. This version was introduced in the Three Doctors. It lasted throughout John Pertwee's final 2 seasons. I didn't know it was introduced in Three Doctors. After the Doctor had been given back his secrets of space-time travel and a shiny new dematerialization circuit. The interior is a solid callback to the original iconic version. Yeah, basically that's what it was. They just remade it, right? With the shiny new TARDIS console installed. Didn't they have that new console and in season 8 as well? Or I thought they did. However, Planet of the Daleks also revealed a bizarre upgrade by way of a cheap wooden bed. Yes, I remember that. A cheap wooden bedroom set that was meant to let the third Doctor recuperate after having been shot in the previous serial without constructing a separate TARDIS sick bay set. Oh yeah, that's when Joe left all the messages with Joe's log. Unfortunately, the jarring image of a bit cheap of MDF, it was fine. Don't be mean. The War Doctors, this was a bit like hot. Like they made walls and then they put everything else together from the 10th Doctor's one, right? John Hurt's TARDIS was the perfect mixture of old and new for the 50th anniversary. It retained the round things. I didn't like the thing. Oh, what are they? I have no idea. They're just stupid, right? From the classic TARDIS era, but the grungy columns from the 2005, 2000. Yeah, I understand. They had that at Cardiff, so they just reused it, which is why I think they might reuse it for the 60th. I don't know. Some may call the design an ugly mishmash of ideas, but this was a Doctor who was fighting the last Great Time War. He likely didn't have time to consider the spot of redecorating, although with the TARDIS glitching, this is indisputably what the War Doctor's TARDIS interior looked like during the Time War. Okay, if the TARDIS is a reflection of the Doctor's persona, in the modern era at least, well, I think okay, fine. I think they kind of started with season 14, don't you? Like, that was very much a reflection of the Holmes Hinchcliffe-era. It's a TARDIS interior that stripped back to basic, but retains some of the quirks of the other character. The perfect console room for John Hurt's War Doctor. Well, he didn't need to be so big because I didn't imagine he had many people around. It's a one night only sort of title. Yeah, they weren't going to make a new console for it, right? They didn't have the money. So it's hard to rank it any higher, but there are some interesting ideas. It also begins the modern series obsession with the round thing. Yeah, no, it's kind of stupid, but it's okay. Chibnall did things thanks to Fugitive TARDIS, the Doctor's TARDIS. Well, I hate to say this, I like this one a lot, but I hated the idea of the Fugitive Doctor, but I like this one a lot. This was a very, very cool idea, but we're not even reading it. Leave us alone. The third Doctor started Time Monster, is it? Yes, with the washing up bowls, right? So this was season 9 or season 8. What, it just came out. The washing up bowl TARDIS gets a hard time, but that's exactly what you expect from a 1970s update of the original design. I am glad they ditched it. So I really am glad they ditched it. They must have some extra money for the 3 Doctors. It's not for nothing that this was the interior that the Lego Dimensions designer chose for the third Doctor. Yes, yeah, I agree with you. So yeah, that was perfect. It only lasted for the Doctor and Masters game of TARDIS Chicken in the Time Vortex, and at the end, the Time Monster. It was only one episode. This underrated gem, but it's they got rid of the end of Time Monster, but it's an underrated gem. It's a sense of scale to it that the other TARDIS concepts don't always achieve. That's fair. While the fact that their roundels double up as scanners is a neat touch. I agree. I do agree. The Master Stars looked exactly the same. Well, yeah, it was the same TARDIS. The set was retained for the 3 Doctors for the next season, but they stripped out the bowls to more overtly call back. So it was only in one episode, one story. Wow. To me, it seems like very iconic. Russell D. Davis, 2005-2010 one. Yeah, this was a pretty good one, right? Would I put this? I haven't really thought my rankings, but so far I kind of agree. I'm trying to look for someone to put people. From the very early on in Doctor Who's history, the TARDIS was a place of safety. That's why in Edge of Destruction it was a perfect third serial for the first season, because it just had Ian and Barbara becoming uncomfortable with the Doctor and Susan, and the TARDIS becoming a place of danger. That was what the creeping horror was about it, right? It really was. Since then, returning to the brightness of the TARDIS with the comfortable white walls, it became shorthand for safety. However, you don't get that with Rusty Davis era TARDIS, which almost is oppressively dark and dingy place. Less so than Jodie's, right? And I think it was a perfect reinvention for 2005, right? I think it was very, very much had its finger on the pulse of the nation's cultural what's I going to say? The nation's cultural, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensibilities. Yeah. I do think so. So well, let's see what it says. Since it's clear that Rossi Davis sees the TARDIS as a means to get the Doctor and the Quentress made to be. Yes, it's a plot device, right? He wasn't interested in developing it beyond the console rooms. Well, you did see the the wardrobe room when in Christmas Invasion, right? Where and I do like the way they did that, even though it was it seemed like it was done a bit cheaply, but it also worked. It's telling that old school Doctor Who fan Mark Gatiss, who wrote the Doctor's hilarious convoluted directions to the TARDIS wardrobe in The Unquiet Dead, but oddly, the set is designed in such a way that it's hard to envision the ship beyond the main console. Also, yeah, look, the one time they complained about it was hard to have like where people would go. Right, when you want to have like a quiet world with Rose, Mickey had to stand behind a pillar or something, right? There was that. Where are we up to? A ship beyond the main console room. Well, I think they did quite well with the Christmas Invasion, right? When they here, let me pull that up. 1 second. Video file. Go doink. We'll look for Doctor Who. Doctor Who. So that'll be 10th Doctor, Series 2. Oh, is it Christmas? Oh, Christmas Invasion. 1 second. Oh, will it play? It's an M4V. Oh, it does. Hey, 1 second. So it's right at the end. He's got his duds on. Hang on.
I don't know.
Doctor, what was that? What did he?
It's I kind of like this the family feeling that you had with the but I think both the eras. Okay, go inside the TARDIS. I mean, they're inside already, I guess, but oh, yeah, fun. Bit of Murray Gold. And again, it's very clearly the console room redressed, right, with a bunch of clothes in it, right? But there's a scene in it where you see a bit more. It's like one shot. Okay. And again, I like him go for Christmas dinner. That all this just works, right? Yeah, you think she looks tired? No, it is. That it. I mean, the worst wardrobe room has to be the Sylvester McCoy one. Okay, what's the? Oh, yeah, you got a bit of Tom Baker's scarf there. I bet there. And I started to walk. Pretty soon I will run. Man, he was young there. And I'll be running back. Okay, I'm going to get the stream interrupted in a minute. Doctor Who in the TARDIS, Russell Davis, EastEnders. Yeah, it was Shameless meets Doctor Who. There you go. So I think this was done very well, right? I really tell you, for 2006 CGI, I think that's excellent, don't you? I really think that's excellent, right? And so yeah, they must have painted all the middle. So yeah, you do get the feeling there's a lot more going there, but man, it looks a bit dangerous. You can fall off any of those gantries any time, right? And that's what you are. There you go. Oh, too lucky bit of Tennant. I'm sorry, you get sucked into it. So it's an undeniably iconic and beloved TARDIS interior. Yes, it is. This is where I think probably most of fandom today fell in love with Doctor Who, right? I still think the Tennant years is what Tom Baker was for us. It looked cool in its green and red lighting, and I got the toy up there. The toy is gorgeous, right? Oh my god, I love that playset. It has an interesting multi-level structure. The console room. See the Doctor's horrified relation when Jackie Tyler is still on board an army of ghosts. Very spacious. Yeah, no, it was a big set, right? The original design, the original idea by what was it again? Who was it again? He basically designed the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the Ultimates. Brian Hitch, if I can find it. Brian Hitch TARDIS design sketch. Oh, here it comes. 1 second. I just saw it. This is the one I wanted. Here we go. Let me grab that. Where it is. Oh, very good. So let me put it in with my images over there. Doing so I can share the screen. Top screen, share screen. There you go. It's a similar idea. I like the big Scylla Rassilon in the background. I mean, that's pretty darn cool. But it's just added in a lot more, layers. This is really what they wanted to do, right? But money. There you go. Share screen. So what they have this at number 9. Blimey, that's kind of low down. But let's see what's next. Fourth Doctor. Okay, yes, I love this one. Freaking love this console room. Oh, so good. They would have used it more, but the walls walked. They could have done with like a little bit of time rotor movements, but it was it took producer Philip Hinchcliffe 2 whole seasons to realize his dream of a more Jules Verne style TARDIS. It was in Doctor Who season 12. There was barely a TARDIS at all, and in fact, the interior was never shown on screen. Really? Really? Pyramids of Mars was the next year, right? Wait, you had Robot, followed by Ark in Space. You're right, you didn't see it in either of those two. Followed by Sontaran Experiment, followed by Genesis of the Daleks. I'm missing something out. Which one am I missing? Hang on. Followed by what's it called again? Revenge of the Cybermen. Was that this? I still seem to be missing something. Hang on. Doctor Who episode guide to Wikipedia. Fourth Doctor. Robot Ark in Space. Okay, I got them. Oh, man, didn't appear at all. It's amazing the things that you don't really notice. Okay. For season 13, they returned to a slightly redressed version of the John Pertwee set. And then season 14, Master Mandragora, the Fourth Doctor, and Sarah Jane go for a wander in the TARDIS. And I love that. I love that. After finding a boot cupboard that's more like a grand drawing room, they eventually arrive in the secondary control room. It was just wonderful. I get a feeling that Philip Hinchcliffe wrote that rather than Robert Holmes. With this mahogany panels, stained glass windows, and wooden console, it was the appropriate TARDIS interior for Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes. I agree with you. More gothic and literally take on Doctor Who. Well, they had realised that students liked Doctor Who by that time, right? They found a whole new audience, but unfortunately, it was a little bit less exciting than the main interior. The dark wood and the lack of impressive time rotor. It could have used a time rotor, even though the time rotor isn't really the thing that goes up and down. It's a little doodad on the side. The impression of a stuffy university office. It's no surprise when Graham Williams was brought in to make the show less dark, he jetsons the interior. And also, again, I believe the walls were walked. The 11th Doctor TARDIS. Now, I think I prefer the season 14 TARDIS. This was okay. Don't get me wrong. This was the first TARDIS I ever went in, right? They had the Doctor Who experience in London. Oh, glorious, right? You went through Amy's crack, the TARDIS appeared, right? And you could sort of see around it. And you walked into it. It was bigger on the inside. It was incredible. It was really, truly incredible. I absolutely loved that. But at the same time, it was a little bit too kitschy and fairy tale-y. Matt Smith's first TARDIS interior looked like a concert of a madman. With a box and flogged it with an inch of death with the insanely chaotic and wacky. Yeah, it was kind of felt like that's what they're trying to do with Jodie, but they had good production designers then, not with Jodie. From the old school analog telly, that was a good touch for a scanner, and the typewriter in case console, that was also good. All the way up to the Gramophone S brass in case time rotor, that wasn't good. I get they were trying to do something different with it, but it was the quality of the story carried it through. It felt more like a time traveling cocktail bar than a futuristic time ship. Fair comment. Which actually sounds really cool. Now we put it that way, but it wasn't. I think the time rotor was the biggest problem with this one, and maybe the coloring. I'm not sure. Well, the look of odd bits of pipe and temperature gauges made everything look a wee bit mishmashed together. It looked like two purposely mishmashed together. It fits nicely into the mad Professor pipe and Matt Smith's Doctor specifically. This interior was absolutely enormous too. Well, that's the thing. They needed somewhere else that other people could go, right? That was really the main consideration. Who was it? Matt? Whatever. I can't remember the name of the production designer. He was really good. The interior was absolutely So, unlike Russell Davis, everything, it was also bright, warm, and homely. Somewhere where you would actually want to hang out in between adventures. That is also true, right? There was also stairwells and corridors leading off into other areas, and generally gave the impression there was endless space within. All this was good. I still prefer season 14. Okay, it was a perfect console for a bow tie and tweed wearing young hipster, even though it was a little bit too much, right? Fourth Doctor's TARDIS. See, I would put this behind the 14th Doctor one, right? I mean, I think, okay, the Fourth Doctor's main TARDIS console right up until Peter Davison's second season were, albeit with some subtle changes, the additional columns to the walls and made the interior feel slightly more grand. I don't know. See, I just find this TARDIS interior a little bit more dull, right? Honestly, was made it feel slightly more grand, although more ironically squashed together. And on the inside, I mean, what made this TARDIS great was, the Doctor, Leela, and K9 hanging out together, right, playing chess and stuff. That's what made it good, right? The Fourth Doctor, Romana and K9 spent a lot of time in the TARDIS playing chess, okay, doing crosswords and being stuck in time loops, orchestrated by sentient cactus. There was a real lived-in feel to the console room. I tend to... Well, again, it's a feeling of, I think, came from Tom Baker. That reflected Tom Baker's comfortable comfort in the role. All fair. All very fair. It also opened up slightly to reveal Romana's bedroom. Well, listen, I think Tom Baker did also reveal himself in Romana's bedroom quite often. And in the Invasion time, the whole Victoria Hospital was looking... Yeah, that was shite. I'm sorry. Complete with a swimming pool. And again, I don't mind having a swimming pool, but, this was all shite. It was arguably the biggest TARDIS they had ever looked. I don't know. I don't know at all. However, it was the clearness between the studio-bound scenes and the location footage meant that you could really see the joy, and that's all true. I don't know. Yeah, I will put this a lot further down, frankly. 12th Doctor's TARDIS. I like this one a lot, right? And they say the 12th Doctor and Matt Smith's TARDIS are different. To me, they look pretty much the same. I mean, you have some different clutter. Sure, it's a refit of Michael Pickwood's design for the 50th anniversary. However, he updates the Peter Capaldi TARDIS with enough significant changes. I mean, it's a very different look, but it's very, very the same as well. And again, they wanted to go with a much more sci-fi, submarine-y kind of look with this. With enough significant changes to merit a place on its own on the list. To complement Peter Capaldi's more brooding Doctor, the 12th Doctor's TARDIS wasn't quite as bright and inviting as the predecessor. I liked him having the books there and having the chalkboard, even though he was I didn't like the episode. What was that one? Not hide. Listen, right? The addition of bookcase and utilizing the gallery as a library allowed for some truly breathtaking scenes. Say what you want about the Forest of the Night. Well, I don't really want to say much about it, but there was but the nice way the camera spins around the TARDIS in a bravura shot, which is rarely seen in similar Doctor Who scenes. It also gave Capaldi heaps of space to move around in. They was very good at flicking switches and playing out his childhood fantasies and quickly becoming the Doctor Who. It's a gorgeous set. And the second best TARDIS interior of the modern era. High praise indeed. Okay, I like this. See, this is my era, baby. I like this one a lot. I do like this one a lot. I will put it back here on the list. To celebrate the 20th anniversary, the TARDIS got a subtle but significant upgrade with to show the show through to its cancellation. Well, again, you didn't get the walls. In '89, the columns of the Tom Baker console remain, but were reshaped to provide more space. Okay. This whole console room worked very well. There was also designed space for the scanner and bed for Susan and the Turlo to help Steve watch the Cybermen place explosives around the base of the TARDIS. Right. What should we do now? I mean, he could have flown the TARDIS, Susan, I guess. A brand new console was installed, and I don't know who was more proud of it, the Fifth Doctor or John Nathan Turner. Both were very, very, and it was very cutting edge. Oh, it was so cutting edge. Suddenly, it was so modern. It was a memorable fragment of the Time Rotor, which ultimately inspired the central tubes of the featuring the new TARDIS from '96 onwards. Yeah, okay, that's true. Also, John Ridgway could draw that one beautifully in the comic strips. It looked fan-freaking-tastic. In what was the sign of things to come, the BBC no longer had the set by the time of Sylvester McCoy's final season. That was, well, again, the walls warped along with the 14th season 14 one. That's why the Seventh Doctor TARDIS scenes in Battlefield are shot in front of blankets. I thought it was plywood. Thankfully, well, they had the same thing in the Troughton's TARDIS. I think also with Hartnell, where they had it was printed on some rubber wallpaper, rubber like heavy latex rubber, right? So it would hang. Thankfully, the Doctor would come out bigger and better in 2005, consigning the blanket fort TARDIS into a niche in history. I think they did that quite well. You put this on at number 3. No, this is number 1. This is absolutely the best TARDIS ever. Absolutely the best TARDIS. I love this TARDIS. This is perfect, right? This is absolutely perfect of what the TARDIS should be. They got this one 100% right. I love the writing, the light. I also like the writing. I like the lighting, and I like the control. Was it the thing he's leaning on right now? Everything about this is spot on. The TARDIS era for the 96 movie is absolutely gorgeous. We agree. Although clearly influenced by H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, it also feels like George Verne's console room that Philip Hinchcliffe would have had. Yes, exactly. That's why I loved it. If he had money back in '76, the expansive grand, and it fits the tiny British police plot. It all fits in the tiny British police box. Aside from Paul McGann's reinvention of the Doctor as a romantic hero, the TV movie's stunning console room is another crowning achievement. So what's at number 1? Sure, it's the actual Eye of Harmony being in there, but they retconned that in the Eighth Doctor's book. It said it was a connection to the Eye of Harmony. But Moffat kind of fixed that in season 7 as well. Fine, okay. In doing so, he allowed fans to appreciate what a stunning piece of work that Richard Hoagland's console room is. I agree completely. See if I can find the who was it again? Sylvester McCoy, season 27, TARDIS interior. We have it. Oh yeah, here we go. Pictures of it, which I really liked a lot. Yeah, I'm going to just go grab a bunch of images because I think it's all worth looking at. And it was a model made by, what's the name of the guy? Oh, he still works today. Here's another one. I think that's a CGI recreation. There's a model of it. Yeah, that's the best one. Oh, here's another creation of it. Yeah. So again, it never got made, but I really did like this one, right? Hang on, let me just grab that. Fine. Let me put these. We got 1, 2, doink, 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 doink. Over here. Fine. I'll pull that up in a second. Where are we up to? So yeah, I mean, it's the warmth of the lamp light contrasted by the chili blue Tardis in flight. Yeah, again, it all really worked, right? Or in danger is a neat touch. Meanwhile, the grand staircase and the Gothic cloister room gave the Doctor Doctor's Impossible ship a sense of scale that struggled to replicate before and since. I agree. And again, the time rotor, even that's not really the time rotor going up to the ceiling. Freaking perfect, right? Freaking perfect. Although, given how much the TARDIS set gets bumped around in the time vault, there's all those candles and flames would, well, you know, Matt mentioned that they're holographic ones. The 11th seat, I don't know. I think it's a bit of a swizz making this a separate one from Capaldi's. And actually, I think this is inferior to Capaldi's. I think Capaldi's was way better, right? The titles of this season, though, was fantastic. Designed by Michael Pickwood, Matt Davis' second console was utterly stunning. And clean lines, clean line, bright lights, and silver space aesthetic really helped to sell the inside of the TARDIS as infinitely bigger than the exterior. Again, I think Capaldi's did it better. What was the first time that the modern Doctor fully embraced the design potential of the Doctor's ship? It was a spaceship. It was a spacious, futuristic, and absolute stunner. Quite frankly, it was the best Christmas present. And in fact, well, we got it. I forgot we got that Christmas special. What one was that? Was that the one with Madge Allwood? Hang on a second. Let me look up for a second. 2012. Again. 2012 Doctor Who Christmas special. What was that one? The Snowman. Okay, fine. That was actually not bad. The first one with Clara. Go back over here. Doink. It retained the multi-floor design of Matt Smith's original TARDIS, allowing some lovely shots of tinkering on. Yes, I do agree with that. That really worked on the console. Mushroom was, yeah, but it was like they kept that contained. It felt more real, right? It did feel more solid. It felt more solid and real, right? There have and has there been anything cooler than the big silver rotating disc on the top of the time rotor? And flight? Again, I think it was better in the. I don't have a picture. I think it was better in the Capaldi one. It was a time that Stephen Moffat attempted to right the wrongs of the invasion of time by revealing the other rooms. The TARDIS library was remarkable, even if Journey Central TARDIS wasn't. That is fair. And so the number one, I think, is going to go for the original. Is he doing the original as the first one? If he is, kudos to him. Yeah, okay, mate. Hats off to you. Hats off to you for choosing this as the best one. See, this is the thing. Was it Mike Donaldson or whatever his name is? Sometimes he does get it right. The original one, the best. The definite article. The TARDIS console that shows keep harking back to. It is a brilliant piece of design, right? Man, this was a terrible bit of casting having what's the name from League of Gentlemen play Patrick Troughton, right? But I don't think. Oh yeah, they did have him in it. Yes, they did. Terrible casting, right? It was not an exaggeration to suggest the original TARDIS material was key to the show's success. I agree. The Daleks solidified Doctor Who's in mind of viewers, but the moment where Ian and Barbara stumbled into that vast TARDIS was brilliant. Let's watch that clip. That's totally worth watching. I wonder if I don't know if I have a file that'll play, but let's find out. Because that is fantastic, right? That I agree is absolutely fantastic. Great piece of directing. They're only AVI files. Dang it, can't do it. Never mind. But yeah, and it was because they're fighting outside the TARDIS. They go in, and you can see the cut, but like it was Ian, I think, that really sells it. As he walks in, he's like, "What?" It's 1 second. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube because that's really worth. Doctor Who Ian enters TARDIS first time. Where? Okay, yes. Let me just download that. Go to YouTube video downloader. YouTube video downloader. Honestly, I think it's what's the name? William Russell's acting that sells it as much as the set, right? Second download. Here it comes. Where are we up to? Doink. We'll look at that in a second. Despite a few of the first Doctor's antiques being shifted around the room, being reduced slightly, this look ensured the 1960s in the decades that followed, the classic series made some tweaks to the basic look in order to keep up with the changing technology of TV production. It's fascinating that modern Doctor Who never fully embrace this iconic looks. Well, again, I think they really wanted to make it more modern, right? From the minute they recreated the 1960s of Mark Gatter's docudrama Adventure in Time and Space, the classic interior was constantly popping back up. Well, that is true. What was that? I can show the clip. Let's have a look at it in from. Is it Day of the Doctor? No, it was the Doctor Falls. Second. Was it Twice Upon? Was it? Yeah, from Twice Upon a Time. But I love that opening. But where they go inside here. Well, there's a bit where they're sitting down having. Oh, yeah.
Hang on, the windows are the wrong size.
Inside, quickly. Take off now. Deep space anyway.
Yeah, it is brilliant. Okay, he's making a fair point.
But his is in dire need of a good spring clean.
No, stop. Look at the astral map here. Look at all the lovely blinking lights. Look at that.
Okay, this is why everybody hated that story. I liked it. I'm sorry, I liked it. I thought it was fun. Right? One second, downloads. Let's see if we can get where is it? So the bit where Ian like bursts into the TARDIS. Oh, here we go. At last.
What do you like?
Oh, it was Barbara's. Yes. Okay. That I'm sorry. That is a brilliant piece of design and direction. I absolutely agree with him. Actually, well, no, I still like the X-Doctor TARDIS more. By the way, while we're going over this, let's look at the TARDIS that we nearly had, right? And then we'll finish the article. This is the Seventh Doctor's TARDIS from season 27. Mike Tucker made this for the Doctor Who nights. I think was it 1989 maybe, and it was like green screened on. It's a CGI version, and this is a animated CGI. Great little TARDIS. I mean, sorry, it really is. It's a great little TARDIS. I think it would have gone down a treat. Share screen. Let's finish reading this article. Twink. Man, it's late. Oh, I got to get moving. It's fascinating. Okay, fine. From the other TARDIS in Hellbent to the Future's Doctor's TARDIS and the 13th Doctor's Dalek. Oh, that was awful. They all hark back to the brilliant White Room. Maybe shooting out. Well, once again, no. Well, once again, embrace the design. A fitting refresh for the show's 60th anniversary. I doubt it, right? I doubt it. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do. But again, they keep talking about doing a TARDIS reveal very, very soon, right? Very, very soon. So I think it's quite important, right? name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.